Hello, this is Kevin McCall on the 16th day of Advent, and I am so excited to share with you today. Our gospel reading is from Matthew chapter 21, verses 23 through 27. When Jesus had come into the temple area, the chief priest and the elders of the people approached him as he was teaching and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?" Jesus said to them in reply, "I shall ask you a question, and if you answer it for me, then I shall tell you by what authority I do these things." Where was John's baptism from? Was it of heavenly or human origin? They discussed this among themselves and said, "If we say of heavenly origin, he will say to us, 'Then why did you not believe him?' But if we say of human origin, we fear the crowd, for they all regard John as a prophet." So they said to Jesus in reply, "We do not know." He said to them, "Neither shall I tell you by what authority I do these things." Why is that? Because the answer was the same. John's baptism was of heavenly origin. Jesus was from heavenly origin. So what these Pharisees aren't believing in heavenly origin, when they're not recognizing the things of heaven, what good is it going to do Jesus to tell them? They're not going to believe him as they did not believe John. And I ask you today, is your baptism of heavenly origin or human origin? Are you able to believe and see things from heaven's perspective rather than the simple human perspective? These Pharisees, Pharisees, were looking for the coming king to kick out the Romans and establish a human kingdom on the earth. And with that limited view, they missed that Jesus was bringing the kingdom of heaven into the earth. Their minds were so stuck in the laws, in the rituals, in the daily workings, and the things that they were doing in and of themselves, that they missed what Jesus came to do for them and in them. And this baptism, this heavenly baptism, gives us that new identity as priest, prophet, and king. What is a priest? Priest is someone who brings God to the people and brings people to God, one who intercedes on behalf of the people around him. What is a prophet? Someone who hears God, someone who's in close relationship with God and shares what God asks them to share. And what is a king or queen? Someone with authority to rule and reign. Someone who can say, "Get behind me, Satan." Someone who can say, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I renounce depression, fear, anxiety, whatever. I put these things at the feet of the cross, and I take up that power, that authority, that heavenly origin. I'm returning to heavenly origin. I'm thinking from heaven's ways, from heaven's perspective." So I encourage you today, as you watch and wait and prepare, as you stay awake, anticipating the coming of the Lord in the here and now, and you coming into greater union, into greater unity, to greater depth and authority, because you know the answer to the question. You know where Jesus came from. You know what you were created for. And in the name of Jesus, you know where you're going, into Daddy's great big heart. God bless you.